So, good morning or good night, depending on where you are, and welcome to another interview of the Shield Dude on a couch. As you can tell, the lighting here it's pretty dim, but it's because the power went out in Puerto Rico. So that's shit that happens. So, but the show must go on. So this is very metal to have like an interview like this, and I'm joined by Chris Ramos. He's the singer for a band that's about to put out an album. I'm sorry, an EP. They have several EPs and they're called Dead Heat. And they're a thrash crossover metal band from California. So, Chris, how's everything in California?
It's been good. It's good. It's about 6 o'clock. I just got off
Yeah.
work. It's been a
And you
long
got
day.
electricity, so good for you.
Yeah. It's still light out too, so we still have.
Yeah, I know. Where in California are you, man?
I'm in Oxnard, which is right between LA and like maybe 5 hours away from San Francisco.
Oh, cool.
Between that.
So I must tell you, I listened to the Death Heat EP that's coming out, and it's killer because when I was listening to it, I got like vibes from old school thrash metal, and also like bands like Municipal Waste, like growing up for you, Chris. What bands inspired you?
Well, a lot of those bands same like what's funny is we got to tour with Municipal Waste like a couple of years ago. Them and Crowbar. And I was Municipal Waste was one of those bands that I like when I was like 15, 16, like all my friends were into them, so it just got me into them and I was like, all right, well, but then 15 years later, I go and tour with them. That's one of those things. But growing
That
up,
must
I
be
don't
a
know.
dream come true. And plus, Municipal Waste is such a fun fucking band.
There's
Like when
they're like the band. They're like epitome of the party band and like cool vibes.
Yeah, like
All
I couldn't
yeah.
tell you, I couldn't like recommend like which is my favorite Municipal Waste record, but I think that I would say catch them live. That's where
Oh yeah,
they
for
that's where
sure.
they shine. They're like a amazing live band. So besides Municipal Waste, what other bands influence you, man?
Right now, I mean, we get a lot of influence from like, I mean, for a while it's been like Sepultura, Obituary, Slayer. We've been going more of the like metal route as opposed to when we started because we started off as like a hardcore band. Like we
Yeah,
liked
I listened to your first
Cro-Mags,
EPs and it was more hardcore. Yeah.
yeah, Cro-Mags, Leeway, very more crossover hardcore. And then we became a little bit harder over the years and started like finding a different sound. And now we kind of got into the groove of like leaning more towards like I guess Sepultura is. That's a good example.
Yeah, early Sepultura, the
Yeah,
Max
yeah,
Cavalera years. Yeah,
yeah. Max Cavallo is Sepultura for sure.
yeah, yeah. No, the sound is pretty cool, and the artwork for this EP, I gotta show it because the artwork fucking kicks ass. So here's the artwork for Endless Torment,
Yeah.
which is gonna be out on July the 28th, and this is some great artwork. Talk to me a little bit of what inspired this artwork.
Well, we had the same artist that we did our last record. His name is Hayden Hall. He also goes by Six Slice, but I don't know if you can see the flag behind me. Our old record. He did he does an absolute crazy job, but he kind of came up with this idea. We told him like the name of the album and what it like a concept of like, oh, like going crazy over the years and like I don't know, just like things making you go insane. And he's like, all right, I got something, I guess. And then he pulled this out, and this is kind of like our mascot. It's just over the years, it's become progressing into more of a person, like
What's the
that.
name of the mascot?
I guess Bones.
Both, yeah. No, like every like fresh metal band. A lot of fresh metal bands have like mascots, and obviously it started with Iron Maiden when they with Eddie. But yeah, the cover is sick, and obviously when I look at that album cover, I think of thrash metal from the 80s, and it looks there was a band I think called Autopsy that had like album covers that were like very graphic like that. So
Like
yeah, it's
grotesque.
pretty cool. And obviously I like what you did with the logo and the blood, and they look like blades.
Yes.
Uh, so they really look cool. So when you're deciding on names, how did you decide on Dead Heat?
I mean, originally it was our old guitarist, our first guitarist. He came up with the name. I think he got it from the old movie. It's like a horror comedy movie called Dead Heat from the 80s. And
I think I remember it, but I'm not sure.
it's pretty funny. You need to watch it. It's a must watch. But it also means a couple different things. It also means like tie game, no winner. Uh like, you know, there's nobody wins basically. And that's always been like a kind of like a thing with us. Like I always try to make it seem like, oh, Dead Heat, there's no winner. The very
Yeah, no, it's got a ring to it. And I listened to the EP and the 5 songs, and I did listen. There's some songs that I think all the songs are killer, and it's fun. You know, it's an EP. It's like I think it's like a 20 something minutes. Uh, Obviously, the single that you released was "Endless Torment." Why did you pick that one as the single?
we just wanted to drop off the title track for some reason. Like we thought that was gonna be, I don't know. It was either gonna be between the one that we're dropping tomorrow, which is called Eyes of the Real, either that one or Endless Torment. And we
Well,
thought,
it's a
well,
good thing that you're dropping that tomorrow because I can premiere the video also, so people can know that's the new video. So, what's the new song about? The one that you're dropping tomorrow, Wednesday, or today for people who are watching the video?
all right, well, Eyes of the Real is basically, I don't know, it's been a concept I've had for the last 10 years, I guess. It's been my Twitter handle for the longest time. It was a lyric that my old band of what we use, and it basically defined like, eyes of the real is the people who know like what's going on, you know what I mean? Like they see the real things that are happening, not like, and it's like the song is basically like, oh, I see, it's talking about like how I see through your fake people, like, oh, just about how you see through fake people.
Okay,
Uh,
you know
I
when
had
you were
specifics, but
mentioning that, yeah, when you were mentioning that, I just thought of the like that Dave Chappelle skit, like when keeping it real goes wrong.
yeah. I mean, damn, that's pretty much it. You gotta keep
Yeah,
it in the eyes of the real.
in the eyes of the real. Yeah, it's a good track as well, and a track that I really enjoyed, and I like the title, maybe Smite Thee.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna smite thee. It sounded like so like old school Bible,
yeah,
like it's not a word that you hear every day. Like I'm gonna smite you.
yeah.
Uh,
It's like an old word.
It is, yeah, it's like a biblical word, like smite.
Yeah,
Uh, but obviously, metal and thrash metal, you've always, religion has always been some there, maybe to poke fun at it or to criticize things that have happened. And that one is fun because it's like a less than a 3 minute song, and I just love it when you go. It's like, hey,
yeah.
it's real cool, and it sounds like a song that when you're like I can just be listen to the crowd shouting at you. Might be. Uh, was that a fun one to work on?
Yeah, actually, that was it. We've had that song for a while too, and we've played it live maybe a handful of times in the like maybe a year or two ago, and then we just stopped playing it. But yeah, like I'm stoked that we got it, re-recorded it, and made it sound the way it should sound. Because before I don't know, we had like a a weird version of it that we made, and then we were just like, and then we re-recorded it and became like a
Why
good.
was the other version weird?
I think I sang different.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't have the right lyrics, and I re-recorded lyrics like in the right way. Yeah, it was all messed up before, and I was like, all right. I was trying to play with it as much as I could. I was like, but it ended up being really better than what I thought.
Awesome. So what is your process when you're writing lyrics? What inspires you with the lyrics?
Well, it depends on what I'm going through at the time. Like I mean, songs on here are just about times with people that I've had, I don't want to deal with anymore. There's a lot of like eyes of the real is that, I want to deal with other people. Like Endless Torment is about like just people that annoy you basically too as well. But it's like having just endless torment from people that like you don't want to deal with. And then Smite D is just, where is it? I can't remember the concept now. It's been a minute since I've been like reading it.
Well, it's about
I've been trying
smiting
not to
someone.
listen to our album before we play it, like anything. So I'm like,
But
I just
that
haven't
can
been.
happen, you know. And I thought that Tears of the Wolf had more of like a
Oh yeah,
new wave of British heavy metal tinge to
definitely.
it a little bit. And Hard Reset, I like that one, the one that closes the album because it starts like more slower guitars and then it goes on full like Sepultura
Yeah.
on your ass. So
See,
yeah,
I don't even remember the songs that were on there, and I was like, oh, you just
I'm just really those are the songs that are on there.
yeah.
It's an yeah. So I know you guys have released more of EPs. Do you find that it's easier nowadays just to put out EPs than doing like a full length album
I
at
mean,
this
yeah,
moment?
for sure it is. I mean, we can just put out like maybe an EP can be like 4 songs. So like we've had these 5 songs for a minute, maybe like a year and a half, 2.
Hmm.
Because after we stopped writing maybe 2020 when World at War came out. And since then we haven't been writing much. So these 5 new songs we've been working on for a while, and we just thought put them out while we can because we don't want to wait to put out an LP. Um,
Yeah.
but we also
So
had band member changes as well. So our first guitarist left, and uh, that so we had to get a new guitarist. We ended up getting 2 more people. We ended up getting a fill-in bassist,
oh
uh,
my God.
Chaunch, who's he's always there for us. Like if somebody can't play, he's on it or trying to get switch off. So we have official 6 members now. But now we're starting to write more, especially since we have like new people. We got like the itch now, so we can probably write a new LP next.
Yeah. So will you go like with another EP or do you think like a full album for
I
the
think a
next
full album next.
full album? Yeah, no,
Either
that
that
would
or
be
like a split or something. We gotta put something out.
you gotta do something. You know, I'm watching you so cool and I'm like sweating right here. I wish I was in California right now.
Oh man,
Uh,
I'm sorry.
oh, that's not your fault.
Get the ACs off. Is that what it is?
No, no, there's no the electricity went out.
No, I know. But do you have AC there?
Oh yes, of course.
That's why it's
That's why.
off.
Yeah, no, no. I wish right now, but yeah. So the EP. So you guys are putting out that new video. And you're releasing it like on July 28th. What physical copies will you have of this? Will you have like cassettes, CDs, vinyl,
I
or
think vinyl for sure. I'm not too sure when the. I'm probably sure we're gonna get CDs, but we haven't been talking much about that. I just know that we're getting some vinyl in for the 28th for that. I want to
yeah,
make tapes of it. I love tapes.
yeah? For some reason now tapes are like becoming a thing once again. So this year, there's been some interesting like thrash metal releases. Do you have like any album that has been released this year that that you enjoyed? And it
Enforced,
doesn't have to be thrash metal. Yeah.
enforced for sure.
Oh, that album is really
Those are
it's
my homies, and they put out a hell of an album, and I was
I
trying to
know I
compare
reviewed it on the
mentally, and I was
channel.
like,
It's a
damn,
great album.
that's crazy.
They really have like lowered the bar. No, 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 lower,
No,
higher
higher
the
the
bar.
bar.
I said lowered. I'm like, no, this is the heat. It's getting to me. It's
No,
impairing
yeah,
my thinking. No, they raised the bar, people. You imagine
for
the
sure.
comments like, how dare you say they lowered the bar? No, they raised them. Sorry. Yeah, they definitely raised the bar
Yeah, for sure.
for metal. And that album, yeah, that album really impressed me. And they keep on getting better. So yeah, that's a great one. And I think there's a lot of like good crossover thrash metal nowadays. New bands bringing new things to the table, like doing some old school but with some new vibes to them. So yeah, I know that band is pretty cool. So you guys have some shows, I think in the month of July, right?
Oh yeah. next week, actually, next weekend, we will be playing in Texas with Mind Force and Heaven's Gate, which is members of Municipal Waste, Cannibal Corpse, something else. Forget what else. What other bands? But it's like a mix of other bands, and that I guess it's pretty cool too.
Yeah. So when you go on tour, like, do you have like essential things that you need to have on you on the road to, like make it less stressful?
Yeah. Weed, AirPods, and then a little bit of vodka always. Uh,
So I can
and
just imagine you after the show, you're smoking some weed, drinking some vodka, and listening to to some enforced and just chilling.
possibly, or I'd be listening and drinking before and then smoking after.
That's that. That's good. So there's some weed now that there's like different types now.
Oh yeah.
Like there used to be like back in the day there was only one weed, but now there's like some weeds that you can smoke. They help you sleep. I think
Oh,
some can help you, I don't know, focus. In my time, they just made you hungry. But now there's like so many, like, oh, there's different styles. It's great. Would you ever do like a thrash metal song based that is like the theme is weed? Like I know that
okay.
Cypress
I've
Hill
thought about this
has made so
before.
many songs about weed that
I've thought about this before, and I we made a song and then we've never played it ever again after like, and
what was the Mhm.
it was Light Me Up, and it
Yeah.
basically it was innuendos about smoking weed, but it sounded like it was like basically do what you can to me, do what you want. I don't know. It just made it sound like that's what it
Like
made it
you were
sound.
having
It
sex
was
with
all
the
about
weed.
smoking weed. And I didn't.
Yeah. Plus, like I think no one can beat Cypress Hill on
Oh, for
how many
sure.
songs they've written about smoking weed through 30 years. It's like how many
Like
songs can they
mostly
write
all of
about?
their songs.
Like mostly all. And I'm like, how can they still write about that? Like God bless them, but they still writing about that. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So yeah, maybe you should do like a new version instead of I don't know, like maybe like a zombie weed monster. I don't know, something very metal. So or maybe like a zombie that revives when he smokes weed or
I mean,
something.
we've had a dead heat weed before that that was put out.
Like a merch.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. How was it received by the fans?
It sold out in one show.
Wow. Yeah, and I know in California, people, smoking weed in California, it's
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 like
not a big.
drinking.
It's in Puerto Rico as well. It's that like you go everywhere and you smell weed almost everywhere. So it's not like the big like taboo that it was back in the day. So yeah, you got the shows. You're touring with those bands. So and now we know what you need when you're on the road. So yeah, I would recommend this Dead Heat EP to anyone that likes old school thrash metal and fun because there's like a fun side to your songs. It's not all
Yeah.
serious.
No. It should. I feel like it should never be too serious because then what's the point?
Yeah, well, there's bands that are
Oh
very
yeah. I get it, but I feel like if you want to have fun, in order to receive people having fun, you got to make it fun.
yeah, I agree. Like if it's too grim, like that's why I can't get too much into black metal.
Oh yeah,
Like they're
it's a
so
little bit too
serious,
serious.
and they're like I've seen like oh, so what's your inspiration? They'll go like Satan. I'm like, oh, come on. And they're like all serious. And then when they take off the corpse paint, some of them start talking and they're like, hey, yes, and they sound like all dorky. I'm like, come
Yeah.
on. Like, and they try to be like so evil that really, to me, that's the genre of metal that I least like, I think. There's some black metal artists, but there's some that I just find that they sound the fucking same and I like fun, you know, like, and
Oh yeah.
metal can be fun as well. There's people that don't think that metal can be fun, but obviously we proved them wrong. Obviously you're like a super shield shield guy that obviously likes his pot and his metal. So yeah,
I
it's
just like to have
it,
fun.
it just depends on the people. Like, but oh well, so an artist that obviously wouldn't agree with you would be Bruce Dickinson from Iron Maiden because he
Oh yeah.
got pissed that some people were smoking weed a few months ago in his concert.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I,
the Iron
there's
Maiden
people who
is
be like
classic, but
that.
I think they come to an age that they're just too serious now.
Oh yeah.
So, well, man, I hope that the shows are good and that the new album that you will work on. Do you have an idea where you're taking the next album, or you're just like
Honestly,
fuck it, like whatever happens?
yeah. Basically for right now, whatever happens, because we haven't yet like got in a full practice like with the band yet.
Mhm.
Like our actual guitarist lives in New York right now.
Oh
So
wow,
yeah, he just moved maybe like a month ago at most or something. But he's coming back for shows basically back and forth. But so we're trying to write as much as we can, figure out what we're doing basically.
sounds like a good plan.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I'm gonna show the artwork one last time for people, so people can need to look at this artwork because this artwork is just fucking cool. So yeah, this is the EP that is coming out in July, and I'm gonna put the links so everyone can uh, want to pre-order it, uh, want to buy it, because I know pre-orders are very important for bands. And obviously, I'm guessing once it's out, you'll carry it on shows so people can buy some merch, and that would be a cool T-shirt. Uh,
Oh yeah.
uh, that like a cool T-shirt design. Uh, when do you work on designs for T-shirts, or do you have like ideas for
I
T-shirts?
mean, I used to work at a t-shirt company place. I've been doing it for the last like 10, 15 years, whatever. But I this past like 2 years I haven't been working there. I just been working at a record shop. And but yeah, I've come up with a lot of ideas. I come up just random things. I reach out to a bunch of people randomly and be like, "Oh, can you make this for me?" And then like I just have an idea where I just pop it and then they'll whip it up and then it'll be exactly what I want, like almost.
Awesome. So when you're working at the record shop, do you enjoy judging people who have poor musical taste?
No, I mean I try to steer them in the right direction.
Like
I
what
try
was
not
the
to
like
judge too
someone that
much.
came that asked for you that you were like, no, please. Like what was the worst? Like someone came and asked for something that you were like, really?
I don't even know. I'm trying to think of like things that I'm like, wait, what? I mean, look, I can't even
Like
think
something
now.
like really like you're like, really? You want to listen to this?
I had this old guy come in, like a just older guy. You could tell he was old. He's like, can you tell me what Machine Gun Kelly is?" And I was like, "That." And he's like, "Yeah, somebody told me it was good." I'm like, "All right, well, yeah,
Maybe
here
he
it is."
was buying it for his daughter or his
You know,
granddaughter.
he's
Like,
like, "Oh, he's like, I got a recommendation for Machine Gun Kelly," and then he had like a bunch of other recommendations. But I was like, "All right, you're gonna buy that?" I don't know. It just compared to what he was buying, it was like he was buying Three Doors Down, some
oh my God, Three Doors Down. I don't know
like,
why. I listen to that band now, and it's just like like I think of like when Three Doors Down play, like two first cousins making love or something.
yeah.
That's the
That's the
soundtrack
Kryptonite
that would
band, right?
play. What?
That's the Kryptonite band, right?
Yes,
Kryptonite.
that the Kryptonite
Yeah.
band. Yeah. Yes, that is the Kryptonite band. So when you were saying that, I thought of that scene in that. I don't know if you've seen this movie, the one with John Cusack, where he works at a record store. And oh my God, I forgot the name. It will come back to me. And there's a scene where this guy comes to the record store and he's like Jack Black, and he asks for a record, and he's like, no, I'm not gonna give it to you. He's like, it's for my daughter, and he's like, do you even know what your daughter likes? And it's like a funny scene, but
Yeah.
all of a sudden I can't. It's so hot here that I can't fucking remember the name of the movie. It will come back to me like probably 5 minutes later. But
Yeah.
yeah, that must be fun. Like working. I always wanted to work in a record store, but I never did. But yeah. So Chris, I want to thank you for taking some time with me and bear with me while I sweat here. But but it's been fun talking to you, and
You as well.
hopefully people will catch Dead Heat. See, it's funny. The band is called Dead Heat, and I'm experiencing that right now, literally. So people, remember, there's newer thrash metal bands out there. So if you like thrash metal bands, there's more than the big four. So get out there and explore, and let's keep thrash metal alive. Yeah. So until next time, people, this is Hector, the shield dude on a couch. I'm sweating my ass off, and I'll see you right here on the couch. Thank you, and good.